Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Network Merchandise Shop. Check out our large assortment of logo merch and our lifestyle collection as well. Just head over to abvnetwork.com and click on shop. We are also sponsored by The Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers a fully customizable carrying case that allows you to take your favorite distilled spirits or cocktail ingredients with you. Whether you're looking for yourself, a customized gift, or logo items for your business or event, The Bar to Go can help. Check them out at thebar2go.com. Use the number 2 when you type out The Bar to Go. Did you know Neely Family Distillery now ships its popular distilled spirits directly to you? To order, simply call 859-394-3258. Tell them the ABV Network sent you. Finally, we are sponsored by the upcoming ABV Barrel Shop, a new liquor store experience coming to St. Louis, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop will serve as home to the ABV Network and will be owned and operated by Steve Akeley, Jim Fosnot, and Scott Creighton, a.k.a. the Barrel Buddies. To learn more about the investment opportunities in this new venture, listen to the ad at the end of this podcast. And now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we talk about Jimmy Russell's 67 years and counting at Wild Turkey. My name is Miss Beka Sue. Please join me in welcoming my co-host, Steve Akeley, along with our special guests, Cailee Baker, Luke Taro, and Evan Van Scoy.
Hey, gang, what's up?
Hola.
Hello, Steve.
Yeah, we're going to have a good show today. We're talking Jimmy Russell, always a favorite subject. And I just was inspired to put together this show after I saw online a couple people making posts where Jimmy signing autographs on bottles at the distillery. He was sitting in the distillery talking to people. One guy, said I talked to him for over a half an hour. Other people even Stephen Fonte went out there and got to, an autograph. I mean, here's a guy that many of us look up to, and Stephen Fonte of Limestone Branch. He's out there, Jimmy Russell, you turn into a child when you meet Jimmy Russell, and he's that cool. So we're going to talk about, what it means and what he means to bourbon. And, because I just don't think we'll ever have anyone like him again. Somebody who's been in the business 67 plus years. He's seen it all. Jimmy Russell has seen the best of times. He's seen the worst of times. He's seen it build back up to the greatest of all times beyond that. So crazy stuff. What a career, but we'll talk about that after the break. For right now, Evan said there's something he wanted to talk about. What is that, Evan?
Yeah, so I was at a party today and I sent Steve a really cool picture of something.
Oh, yeah.
And it was a picture. I was actually holding the box of a actual medicinal whiskey, Old Hermitage from Prohibition times. Yeah. And that got me thinking, what is something that's like so cool, so old, or like so valuable that you wouldn't open it, you'd leave it in its packaging? It doesn't have to be a bottle of bourbon, but what's something that you've got that you wouldn't want to open up or break into or finish?
Yeah. Well, that is a pretty cool. If I had that, I couldn't drink that. It wouldn't be worth it to me. It's a pint-sized bottle and it has the box still. It has the whiskey. To me, the value would be keeping that, educating people come over the house. It's a nice showpiece. I'm not into whiskey being a showpiece, but in the rare exception like that, yes. And then I've got a couple of autographed bottles. Actually, Luke got me a Dave Pickerel one. Actually, got it to me for Christmas. And then Dave, of course, if you know Dave's story, he passed away in November, right after Luke got it. Luke was planning to get it to me for Christmas. He still sends it in Christmas. I get it. And, David passed away. We had this great interview with him. Very emotional. It was an unbelievable thing. And then I've got a Wild Turkey 101 bottle signed by Jimmy Russell. I'll never crack that thing. To me, if everybody's like, Jimmy would want you to drink it. I get that, but I can go buy another bottle of Wild Turkey for $22. I'll just do that. And I'll keep that one with the autograph on there because that was a moment in time where I got to meet Jimmy Russell. I met him several times, but that just locks it in, that I met the great Jimmy Russell, and it's a cool memento to me. So I would rather keep it than consume it. That's me though. How about you guys? You got anything that you would rather keep than consume?
I actually have a
a couple weeks ago it was when I first started the Bourbon Bakers page, I had some guys come and work on my house, and somebody fell through my ceiling on top of my whiskey cabinet, and this bottle of Jim Beam, actually, let me grab it, it's right around the corner here. Bottle of Jim Beam from like 1970, 78.
Okay. She's walking over.
Right on the top shelf where that guy fell through, and I just was lucky enough to be here when he was working on it and saved it from falling off the top shelf. But it's
a decanter.
It's an old decanter, an old crappie, and it's got like the official seal on the back of the cool. National Freshwater Fishing Hall of Fame. My parents' best friend and her husband got this for us for our wedding, and it is. I mean, tax seal and everything still intact.
Cool. Looks like a taxidermy crappie. Not that you never do that with crappie, but
Mr. Fish is going to flop off the wall and start talking to you.
Right.
But yeah, and then I have another one which I'll talk about on my cork pop, but it's open. I can't. I was gonna talk about it, but then you talked about how you had a bottle signed by Jimmy Russell that you won't open. And I'm like, well, shit, I opened mine.
I did too.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
I think sharing the memories, I opened it. The first time I opened it, I think was Thanksgiving, and I had like 40 people.
Who would tell you to open it? Jimmy absolutely would tell you. He'd be like, don't keep this closed. Open it.
Yeah.
He's totally this way. I get it. All right. Luke, you got anything that's more important to you than the experience of drinking it or that?
Steve, I pretty much open just about everything, including the Boss Hog, that Dave Pickerel side for me. And but I was doing a little inventory because I had a little bit of time, and the War Department said, you need to straighten up your whiskey cabinet. And so I did, and I found a bottle of Beka, you'd appreciate this. It was a barrel pick from Four Roses single barrel that we did with Al Young, and Al signed it, and he put a little like, Luke, great time today. I hope you enjoyed it, Al. I mean, so I'm eventually going to open that, but right now it's going to be a while before I do, Steve.
Yeah.
That's a special one. I would wait on that one.
Save it for a special occasion. Yeah. Beka, how about you? Anything that you like to just want to hang on to?
This is one that we'll hang on to, I think, for a while, and I don't know when we'll actually open it. But we did get a bottle of Little Book from Freddie for our wedding. Kay had sent us a bottle, and Freddie wrote on it, and we got a nice card from them. And it was a wedding bottle, and so it doesn't feel appropriate to open it like in the first few years of marriage. It seems like something we should like save
10th year anniversary or something.
Yeah, or like 10 or whatever it is. It just feels like that's something that we should keep around for a while and not crack into it, because it was kind of a special bottle in that aspect. But if Evan he said if there's anything other than whiskey, I'm going to buy this bottle, and I think it's one that I'll never open, is that one I said to you, Steve, Dr. Miles Restorative Blood Purifier. I think that if I buy that bottle at the vintage place, I don't think I'll ever open it or ever try it, because it looks I mean,
it looks gross.
Oh.
Yeah.
I sent it to Steve, and I was like,
so you walked away, but now you're having kind of the remorse.
I had it like, I should have bought it because it was weird.
Yeah.
That was full.
Hopefully it's still there for you.
In there. I don't know anyone else that would buy that.
You never know. But,
it's a strange one. The blood purifier. I would like to know if it would work, but not going to.
All right. Evan, you asked the question. Do you have anything?
I don't really have any bottles. The ones that have been signed, I've opened and drank those. We do have our wedding bottles that we are holding off on. So we've intentionally saved a couple of those bottles for like 5, 10, and 20 years. Yeah, so I won't see those for a really long time. No, and I was trying to think of like other stuff, and like there's definitely been some items I have purchased that I've never opened, but it's more of like it's because I've forgotten them or haven't found a use for them yet.
Yeah, gotcha. There you go. All right. Well, guess what, gang? It is time to drink. What is everyone drinking? We're going to start with Evan this time. He went last time, so he's going to kick this thing off. What do you got, buddy?
They can do a little bit better. So it's a turkey show. So I've got Rare Breed Rye.
Okay. All right. I like that one. I like that Rare Breed Rye. Okay. Decent. Not bad. We'll see what happens. Rare Breed Rye is a little bit tough to find, actually. I don't see that around a whole lot.
It's good.
Grab it if you can. It's good.
I got it on the Illinois side.
Okay. All right. I'm going to look next time I go there because I'm out right now. Luke, what do you got?
I brought up a bottle of Russell's Reserve single barrel.
Yeah.
And I'm just loving these single barrels from them. So here we go.
Okay. Not as good as Evans. Not as good, but okay. I've got Rare Breed. No, I don't. This is Kentucky Spirit with the terrible designed label. Same bottle as Rare Breed. I don't like it. I don't like the bottle. I like the whiskey, but here we go. Cork pop. No, nothing there. Evan has the lead. Beka, you're next.
I do not have anything
turkey, but it's just you're all put away still, right?
Yes, all my stuff is in the garage. But I do have, I think this was from you, Steve, a Buffalo Trace kosher wheat bourbon sample.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try that out, which it's a sample.
There you go. No cork pop. Evan still has the lead. Cailee, you're next.
Right. So I've got my bottle of Rare Breed signed by Jimmy Russell. But funny thing about this bottle, and I did have one of those 30-minute conversations with Jimmy when I got this bottle signed. He actually signed his name wrong. So it only has one M.
Yeah, sometimes he does it. He does the one M.
So I just think it was really funny because, you can see right below is the signature that's actually on the bottle that, is spelled right. But it's a funny story. The place I used to work for, the grandson of the master distiller at one point got asked to sign a bottle. And he was really nervous and he fucked up his own name when he signed the bottle. And so I went home and I sent him a picture of this bottle and I said, don't worry, Jimmy's like 80 some years old and he misspelled his name too. So, it's all good.
Okay.
Here we go.
Oh, that's it. That's enough. You got
That's
him.
the winner.
Yeah, third.
That's the
Cailee.
one.
2-0.
Hooray.
2-0. Cheers, gang.
Cheers, Cailee. Good job.
All right. We're going to take a quick break. And then when we come back, we're going to be talking about Jimmy Russell. We'll do that in just a few. Hello, this is Steve Akeley of the ABV Network. Let's talk about the people who make this show happen. First up is Leatherwood Distillery in Pleasant View, Tennessee. Company founder Andy Lang started distilling as a hobby while serving his country as an elite Green Beret. Andy distilled all over the world during his time in the military and brought this passion back to him in the U.S. when he returned home. A visit to Leatherwood combines Andy Lang's unique distilled spirits and a museum of artifacts from his time serving the U.S. Share a drink with a fallen soldier at their bar where you can grab an acrylic bio off the wall that celebrates the individuals who gave the ultimate sacrifice to protect his or her country. They will also ship their distilled spirits directly to you, so check them out at leatherwooddistillery.com. We are also sponsored by Moonshine University. This longtime partner for the ABV Network helps educate individuals looking to get into the distilled spirits business, service industry employees looking to expand their knowledge, and individuals simply wanting to know more about the process and history of the spirits industry. In 2017, I completed my Executive Bourbon Steward certification at Moonshine University, and it's something I continuously draw upon and connect with fellow graduates. Check out their full listing of classes, including Executive Bourbon Steward certification, production classes, and more at moonshineuniversity.com. Okay, let's talk about Neely Family Distillery. In 2018, I met Royce Neely at an industry event. He started appearing on our shows, and we became friends during my frequent visits to Kentucky. Today, he's leading the way for young distillers making their mark on the bourbon industry. A visit to Neely Family Distillery combines family history, a look at what makes their products unique, and of course a tasting through their whiskeys, moonshines, and creams. Check them out at neelyfamilydistillery.com and visit them in Sparta, Kentucky. All right, back to the show. right, great job today, gang. Farnance, we'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. We'll be mailing again, once again. Take care, everybody. See ya.
Happy Festivus.
Later.
Bye, guys.
Happy Festivus.
Cheers. Yeah, happy Festivus.
Welcome back to the Bourbon Daily. Today we're talking about Jimmy Russell.
Yes, we are. So Jimmy Russell started at Wild Turkey way back in 1954. Hard to believe that is the case. And so this year it'll be 68 years that he has been in the business. I like to say I'm an old man. I'm 53, and Jimmy was working, making whiskey before I was even born. And like I said before we got started, my great grandfather, who passed away in 1973, he would have been drinking whiskey for many years that was made by Jimmy Russell. It's just hard to believe. That's just like ancient history to me. And the fact that Jimmy was there on that job making that whiskey, and it's just unbelievable to me. He is definitely something special, and we should cherish all those moments, all those conversations we have with Jimmy when we go to the distillery and things like that. It's really, really unbelievable. So what do you guys think about Mr. Russell?
He is a great human being.
Mm-hmm.
I love his entire life story.
Yeah.
And he's going to leave already has an indelible mark, not only on everyone on this podcast, but all the listeners that are probably listening, and even not listening. I mean, it's just what he's done for the industry. Sure, he's focused on Wild Turkey, but let's go back to the mid '80s when he and Booker Noe and Elmer T. Lee, basically teamed up, and Jimmy hit the road before even those two guys did.
Yeah.
I mean, Jimmy was promoting Wild Turkey and consequently, promoting the entire industry. So, the mark that he's left on prior to the 80s and long after the 80s, it'll never be forgotten. Certainly not by this generation.
There was a time when all those guys were friends and get together and hang out and play cards and stuff like that. I know Steve Beam recently posted a photo of his cousin Toddy Beam and playing cards with Booker Noe and all these guys. I mean, gosh, I would kill. I don't even have to play. I just want to watch. I want to watch those guys play and give each other hell like we do when we play cards. Yeah. Oh, it's unbelievable.
I mean, if it wasn't for all those guys, I mean, whiskey wouldn't be where it's at today. If there weren't these guys that kind of took the reins with it and ran with what they were doing, because whiskey was going out of style.
Oh yeah, quickly.
Yeah. Like people liked vodka. People weren't even liking whiskey as much anymore. So, I mean, if it wasn't for guys like Jimmy, then it's, what would be whiskey today?
Right.
I asked Jimmy when I got to go visit him, like Cailee, and I said, I was like a little kid seeing my favorite rock star or something. Asked Darlene. She said, I ran away from the tour because he had just walked in, and I had my bottle and then my decanter of the Wild Turkey. And I said, Jimmy, just tell me one story that Booker and Elmer T. And his wife was right there. He says, well, Elmer T. wouldn't come promote bourbons on Thursdays because that's the day his wife had to go get her hair done. And and he's telling the story, and then his wife elbows him and says, that was me, not
I was going to say something about Beka said something about the men of the whiskey world. What about the wives behind those men?
Well,
come on.
To your question right there, or statement, I looked at Mrs. Russell. I said, Jimmy, you owe her because she's the one that got you the job here at Wild Turkey, and so the rest is all history. I mean, and it's a legendary history, and we're we're the fortunate ones to get to experience it.
Yeah. Jaretta is key to the whole story, because I don't think Jimmy really knows a whole lot about anything other than whiskey. I think he knows everything there is to know about bourbon, everything there is to know about Wild Turkey, everything to know about the industry. But I don't think he's a guy who did a lot of the other things in life. I think he was solely focused on the bourbon business and growing the brand. And, it went to Beka's point. There was a point when it wasn't cool anymore, but it didn't stop people like Jimmy or Booker and that. They just keep doing what they're doing. They're just like, oh, this is our lane. We're staying in it. The folks that have left it, either you're going to come back or you're not, but we're going to keep on making bourbon. We're going to keep on making whiskey. So, we do owe a lot of credit to them for keeping things going. Evan, how about you? Go ahead, Cailee.
I was going to say, I just from my time meeting him, and Doretta was there as well. I got to meet her and talk to them, and we found, when you talk to people in the South, especially someone as friendly as Jimmy and someone that loves to talk as much as me, we found out that his son and daughter-in-law, or daughter and son-in-law, one of the two, live in my hometown, and like we talked about that forever. And he's such a genuine person. He sat there and actually cared about what I wanted to say and talk to him about, and he signed my bottle without even a second thought, and just, I think that people like that is what makes this industry so great.
Yeah.
People that are willing to sit there and talk to you. Like my friendship with Royce and Rebecca is through going to the distillery and just talking to them and just happening to come by at the right time where they had time to sit by and chat with us for a little while. And that's just what makes this industry so great and what makes me proud to be a part of it.
There's a lot of products that you can have loyalty to and, be your favorite. And whether it's a barbecue sauce or a candy bar or, whatever it is. But there's never an example where there's going to be someone sitting out in a gift shop signing autograph or bottles. Kellogg's has a big gift shop at their headquarters. There's never, the CEO of Kellogg's is never down there signing boxes or anything. It's just not a thing. But in the bourbon world, it is. You can go meet the person who's responsible for that.
Well, and it's cool. It's because in the bourbon world, the person responsible for it is actually on the ground doing the things that, comes with the responsibility of being that person. Whereas people like that are the CEO of bigger companies like that are just doing the bullshit paperwork on the back end of it. They're not really getting to be
the CEO for Kellogg's is really no different than a CEO of any other big conglomerate company.
Exactly. They're not tasting the cereal, making sure that the cereal from grain to bowl is good. It's
and the job has evolved, but Jimmy's from the old school approach where he literally did everything. He was in charge of personnel. He was in charge of making the whiskey. He did all the jobs at the distillery. And so that's why he's so important. Because
I feel like a future Jimmy Russell now that you said that. I do everything at the distillery. Does that mean Jimmy Russell one day?
Well, okay. Put in another 65 years and we'll do a show about you.
All right. Sounds good.
How great Cailee is. All right. Evan, you haven't weighed in on this. What do you think about Mr. Jimmy Russell?
So it was a very brief encounter. We met him at the distillery's gift shop and he was signing bottles. Very, very nice. He, signed the bottle. I think we handed him a bottle of it was Russell's Reserve Rye. And he signed that. And, the wife was actually the one that was mainly talking to him. And, she wants to become a distiller one day. And he was very encouraging. And that was really nice. I do remember the only thing he wasn't a fan of was making bourbon outside of Kentucky. We live in Missouri. And so, but the thing that kind of sticks with me most is actually one of Greg Snyder's stories. When he tells us, like on the flagship whiskey events and stuff that we've had with him, talking about creating the Russell's Reserve brand, and that Jimmy didn't actually know about it at first. And, he was working with the marketing team on moving some of that older stock. And he towards the end of the story, he says Jimmy comes by a couple days later after he gets the Russell's Reserve brand kind of approved by the marketing team. Jimmy gets to taste it and he comes by Greg's office and he's like, hey, this is really good stuff. So that kind of reminds me of a really nice guy who, worked in the industry a really long time, and the people around him wanted to do something special for him, and I think that speaks to the kind of person he probably was. So again, I didn't get to interact with him for very long, but those that knew him pretty well spoke highly of him. So that must go pretty far. So
Absolutely. Yeah. Jimmy is, very special. Like I said, it's just not going to have anybody. I don't think it's going to want that longevity. I think at some point they want to just dedicate their lives to their families or taking some time off. And Jimmy's not that way. He wants to go to that distillery literally every day. I think that's what he wants to do. I mean, he wants to go there, interact with fans. And, he is a family guy. He's, he enjoys family vacations and stuff like that. But I even talked to him about that when I was there because we like to go to the same area. He likes to go to Destin. I like to go to Pensacola. Same area, though. We've gone to some of the same places because they've told me when I've been there that, hey, Jimmy Russell's been here. And it's like, oh, he goes to that bar here. And he was just telling me about, family vacations. And he doesn't have to just talk about whiskey. But the one thing he said that still stays out is like, and who do you think pays for all this? He's got three kids. And of course they bring their families and kids and all. He's like, I pay for all that. I was laughing because I'm thinking one of his kids is Eddie Russell. I mean, it's Eddie Russell, right. For God's sakes, is one of the kids we're talking about. So it's just a cool story for sure. But yeah, get by Wild Turkey. Jimmy's back there signing autographs. If you get the chance, I'm telling you, just be prepared. You're going to turn into a little kid. You're going to be 8 years old getting an autograph like when you went to the ball game and you see one of your favorite player standing at the edge of the thing to run over there. And that's just what you turn into when you meet Jimmy Russell. I don't know. It happens to me. Every time I see him, I've seen him probably half a dozen times.
Just fall in love with the man. He's just adorable. He's the best.
Yes.
And you've had the honor and privilege of interviewing him, and that's archived, and that is historical. That is, they'll live
Great
forever.
interview, by the way. Yeah, in his office, which is, when I start listing the top things that have ever happened to me, being in Jimmy Russell's office for about 3 hours. The interview itself is probably 45 minutes, but talking to him afterwards, and just because he wants to talk whiskey, that's what he wants to talk about. So yeah, cool guy for sure. All right, we'll wrap this one up as we always do by talking about where people can find us. Cailee, we'll start with you. Where can people find you?
Find me out at Leatherwood Distillery, serving up some delicious cocktails, and go follow me on Instagram at the Bourbon Bakers. I make some great baked goods with bourbon. There you go. And it's fantastic. Yeah.
Follow her for 65 more years. She's going to be the next Jimmy Russell. So there you go.
That's right.
Evan, how about you? Where can people find you?
I'm on Facebook, Evan Van Scoik, or on Instagram at Wit Wisdom Whiskey.
Luke.
Yeah, you can find us at Santa Fe Boutique Wines on Instagram and Luke Otero at SantaFeBoutiqueWines.com.
Miss Beka Sue.
You can find me at Neely Family Distillery, and you can also find me on Twitter and on Instagram at Miss Beka Sue, 1K, no C's.
All right, for me, I'm an easy guy to find. I'm at Steve Akeley on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We've also got a company website. That thing's abvnetwork.com. That's the one you have to check out because everything that we do is out there. Previous shows, blogs, so much more, abvnetwork.com. Miss Beka Sue, anything else to say before we get out of here?
I'd just like to remind the audience to please give us a 5-star review that includes comments. It helps when people find the show, which is very important to us. If you like what we're doing, we ask you please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/the ABV Network.
All right, great job today, gang. For audience, we'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
Bye.
Ciao.
Roast.
Peace. Before we finish the show, let's talk about some great companies that support the ABV network. First up is Moonshine Still Pro. Moonshine Still Pro has a full line of products to help the home distiller. Whether you want to experiment on the stove in your kitchen or you're looking for a bigger setup in your backyard, owner Russell Creed and his team can help. They have multiple still offerings, accessories, and even grain from their partners at Goldstone Mill to assist you in making whiskey on par with your favorite distillery. They can also help you with some fabricated parts you probably can't make yourself if you are attempting a DIY still project. Learn more or order your still or parts at moonshinestillpro.com. Another friend of ours is the Goldstein family at Goldstone Mill. The Goldsteins offer a variety of heritage and heirloom grains to make the finest whiskeys in the world. Plus, they are more than just a grain company. They are truly consultants to make sure the grains they are providing to you or your business meet your highest expectations. Additionally, they work with mills around the country, ensuring shipping is as low as possible for their customers. If you're a distillery, brewery, or even doing this at home, Goldstone can assist you. Check them out at goldstonemill.com, call them at 217-254-6613, or check in via email at hello@goldstonemill.com. Last but not least, at the top of the show, I mentioned investment opportunities at the new liquor store concept, the ABV Barrel Shop, being launched in 2022 by myself, Jim Fosnot, and Scott Creighton. We are crowdfunding some of the capital needed to open the store. Not only does it offer a return on your investment, but a lifetime of status and benefits at the store. Of course, this investment is a loan and involves a high degree of risk, which may not be suitable for all persons. Prospective investors should carefully evaluate the risk and merits of an investment, should confer with their own legal and financial advisors, and should be able to bear the risk of the loss of their investment before considering the investment described herein. If you would like more information, contact us via the under construction website at abvbarrelshop.com and fill out the form.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.